Hey, this is Mr. Milleman, and I'm back to talk to you today about observations and inferences. A couple of basic process skills that you need to help you in every science lab. Observations are all about using your senses. You've got to see, hear, taste, touch, and smell in order to properly do observations. And these are something that we're going to do in the world around us to help us gather that data that we need whenever we're conducting an experiment. In this case, I see a red car. And I could be a little bit more specific by saying sports car. Here I see a penny. I see a copper penny. Now those were a couple of examples about seeing. And on this video it's a whole lot easier for me to show you how to see things. Well, you know how to see things. You also know how to hear, smell, taste, and touch. But using all of those senses are what you're going to need to do to gather data about the world around you. Inferences are going to use those observations, the observations we make about the world around us, using those observations to come up with a logical conclusion. Let's take a look at an example. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a problem right up here. Couple of cars, red one and a blue one. And by using my observations, I can see it looks like they're touching each other. And it looks like there is some kind of smoke or something coming out of the hoods of those cars. Well, that's using my observations. That's what I see. So what would be the inference here? Well, a logical conclusion for the inference would be, there was a car collision. The two cars ran into each other. And when they ran into each other, it caused some damage underneath the hoods, and that's where the smoke is coming from. Could be that the radiators burst and some steam is coming out. Now, if we look at this from a different angle, we still have our two cars touching, and the steam is coming from those cars. But if we look off to the side, we see what appears to be two men and some trees. Well, our observations are two cars touching, steam is coming out of the cars, two men, and they're interacting with each other, and we see some trees. How about this for an inference? Two hunters were in the woods together hunting, and one of them went to shoot at a squirrel, and he missed, and the other one's yelling at him. Do you think that's what happened here? Nah. The logical inference for this situation is that those two men are the drivers of these two cars, and that when they had a collision, they both got out and they started yelling at each other, blaming the other one for the collision. So, observations are what we see. Inferences are making those logical conclusions, looking at the whole situation, gathering our information, and applying a logical conclusion to it. What makes sense? So our observations are using our five senses to observe or to detect information from the world around us. And inferences is simply applying that and putting it into the real world and making logical conclusions. You hear that? You ready? You ready? Here we go. Everybody dance.